Protect your DNA. BioPQQ can promote formation of new mitochondria. Infowarsstore.com.
Now, I wanted to get into this video that I happened to see on Facebook, of all places, and it's about this man who used to be, he went from being an anti-Trump hater who hated Trump supporters to being a Trump supporter protector. Now, this guy goes by the name of Tiny, which is kind of funny because he's not very tiny. He's a man of Pacific Islander descent. And they put this video out from Joey Gibson's Facebook page, who happened to speak at a lot of these other Berkeley rallies. So I wanted to kind of play part of this, but I'm going to go over and I'm going to tell you about his story because it's absolutely amazing. Let's play some of this clip here.
My name is Joey Gibson. I'm a Patriot Prayer, and this is my absolute pleasure to make this video. Make this video about a man named Tiny who's not so tiny. Everywhere I go, people want to know, who is this man? What motivates him? What drives him? This man is a man of all heart. Tons of passion, tons of inspiration, but there's a story behind him that he has to tell, and I believe it will impact so many people if you listen with an open heart and an open mind. There's a narrative in our country that there's
there
no point.
There he is. There's Tiny, and it looks like that's his son.
But that is not true. That is a lie. And if you listen to what it is that Tiny has to say, I believe that this will give you faith and give you hope.
Yes, it's a very inspiring story,
journey.
And it has the ability to really open up the minds of some people out there who are anti-Trump and who have been fed these lies from the mainstream media.
Talofa. For those of you that do not know me, my name is Tiny. My real name is Tusitala John Tuafo'ala Tuli Langi Toese. I am 21 years old from the island of American Samoa, and I'm part of this freedom movement that's going on.
So I'm just going to kind of tell you guys a little bit about the story because it's a very long video, and I do recommend you sit down and watch the entire video. It's on Joey Gibson's YouTube channel. But what's interesting here is now Tiny, he actually didn't really care too much for or against President Trump or against Donald Trump in general. He didn't even really know too much about him. But during the campaign season, when the mainstream media started covering more and more about Trump, he started watching the mainstream media and seeing how they were saying he was a racist and he was a bigot and he was this bad person. So he just kept watching this and thinking, oh my gosh, this guy's horrible. He's a bigot, and just completely eating it up, believing it. And so what he said is that he started having this rage inside and this anger toward Donald Trump. So then when he would be out and he would see a Donald Trump supporter or see somebody driving with a Trump sticker on their car, he would take that rage out on those Trump supporters by either driving up next to them and, shouting profanities or blasting music, blasting that song F Donald Trump, and so on and so forth. And he actually said that it got so bad to where he liked watching videos of Trump supporters being attacked. And so one day when he was on the internet and he thought he was clicking on a video about Trump supporters being attacked, he clicked on a video and it happened to be this guy, Joey Gibson, speaking at a Donald Trump rally. Now, he was actually really confused because he says that Joey Gibson's speech actually touched his heart. And he was really confused because he thought, hey, these guys are supposed to be racist, bigots, and rednecks. And what this guy's saying, he's saying he's not a racist and that he actually, he just cares about the country and so on and so forth. So I guess he says he reached out to Joey Gibson on Facebook, but he still kind of was pretending. He wrote to him saying he was a Trump supporter, that he wanted to meet up with him because he was trying to investigate, but he still in his heart was not a Trump supporter. He wasn't convinced yet. And that basically he then goes and meets up with Joey Gibson and a couple other guys, and they picked him up. He tells this story about how he was a little bit scared at first because they were all white guys, and he was worried that they were really maybe racist KKKs that the mainstream media makes them out to be. And sure enough, as they were driving on their way to this event, they saw a Hispanic man broke down on the side of the road, who looked like he had a flat tire, and he thought to himself in his mind, well, if they're racist, then they're just going to pass this guy by. Well, sure enough, they're like, hey, you know, this guy's got a flat. Let's pull over and help him. So they actually pulled over, helped the guy fix his tire, and continued on to the event. So his mind started changing. He started feeling guilty for having these preconceived notions. Then he gets to the event, and it's just a bunch of old people, children, families, people who, you know, they're just good-hearted Americans, and they're not speaking anything about racism. They're not speaking anything about what the mainstream media tries to make Trump supporters out to be. They're just talking about how much they love the country. Then next thing you know, he sees these Antifa who he didn't even know about, and he says he was glad he didn't, because he might have actually went and joined Antifa had he not had this experience that opened his eyes. Now, the Antifa came, and we all know what happened at Berkeley, how these Antifa came and started violently attacking Trump supporters. And he just says that really just the whole experience opened his mind, opened his heart. He realized the truth. And from then on, he dedicated himself to helping and protecting Trump supporters. So he goes out there now and he stands and he protects Trump supporters and people's right to the First Amendment. So this is just a great story to show you guys how the information needs to be out there. And this is why we're fighting the info war, so that we can wake up people's minds and we can touch their hearts, so that they can then have the wool pulled away from their eyes that the mainstream media puts in front of their eyes on a daily basis. So guys, go out there, share this story. I really hope that we can have Tiny on to speak with him, and I'm sure we will. But just remember, guys, this is the information war. Stay tuned, guys. There's going to be some more reports after this short break.
I want to tell you about some of the products at InfowarsStore.com. We are under constant attack. You know it by now from the mainstream media. They're trying to attack us on every level. Now with the YouTube scandal, they're demonetizing our channels, which again takes a huge chunk out of our income, which is why we always appreciate and rely on you getting the products, because that's how we stay afloat. They can't get to us that way. They can't pressure you to not buy the products. They don't have that power. And that's why you're the key to this entire operation. We have Super Blue fluoride-free toothpaste, bubblegum flavor just arrived at InfowarsStore.com. This is by listener request. Bubblegum flavored Super Blue toothpaste now available at InfowarsStore.com in limited supply. Again, if you're not using fluoride-free toothpaste by now, you're absolutely insane. Harvard studies, it reduces IQ, it causes bone cancer. It's not great, let's just put it that way. And I've been using it for about, what, 15 years now? So you're going to buy it anyway. Why not buy it from us? It's in limited supply, but it is available at InfowarsStore.com with the new bubblegum flavor Super Blue fluoride free toothpaste, and it supports this network, which is under constant demonization and attack, because we don't take big fat checks from George Soros. We don't get put on extremist list even though they want us to. That's how they're taking away the YouTube money. That's why we need your support more than ever, because we're not funded by giant corporations who are now pulling the plug on YouTube as they move it into a TV thing, a Netflix model, to drown out independent voices. So support us by getting the products at InfowarsStore.com.